Hey guys, welcome to our solutions video for test number 45, selective prep mathematics. Unlike most weeks, we're not going to have an overview today. I went over the test and there weren't any difficult topics, so I decided not to have an overview today just to save time. Also, just a quick note that question 7 was skipped in this video just because it was pretty self-explanatory, to be honest, and also for time's sake. So don't freak out if you think your video is a little bit messed up because it's question 7, because I actually just skipped question 7. So let's get straight into question 1. So for question 1, all areas should be 3 except one of them. So if we move this triangle up here and this triangle down here, that's going to give us 3. These are obviously 3. And then if we moved this triangle up here and then these 3 triangles into a square, this would give us 3 as well. So the only incorrect answer is A, and it looks like it's definitely more than 3 as well. Now question 2, if we had filled in firstly the diagonals, and then this column, and then this row, okay, we should have gotten the numbers I have in purple here. Okay, and that's enough to give us the values of A for sure, and then we can use that to find B. So A is definitely equal to 8 according to this row, because the sum has to be 30. So A has to be 8, which means that B, for it to be A, has to be 5, but that can't be true because we've already used 5, so it can't be A. B has to be 9 for part B, can't be true because we already have 9. B has to be 4 for C, which can't be true because we've already used it. And then B has to be 8 for E, but that can't be true because A is equal to 8. Okay, so the correct answer has to be D. So B has to equal 2. Does that work? Yes, it does. We haven't used it yet. Question 3. So she's got a bunch of shells. She counts 3 at a time, has 2 left over. Counts 4 at a time, has 2 left over. Counts 5 at a time, has 2 left over. Now this final condition is the most important one because every single answer is wrong for this final condition except for B. So if we counted 5 at a time, for A we would have gone up to 55 and gotten 2 left over, but here we would have 3 left over. For this, we would count to 60, have 4 left over, doesn't work. Count it to 75, have 1 left over, doesn't work. Count it to 75, have 3 left over, doesn't work. So our correct answer is B, 62. Now question 4, we have 4 triangles that we can make in each square. So if we choose 2 other points other than A in this square, for example, we could choose dx, dy, and then xy, and then we can make one more triangle. Okay, it doesn't matter what other point you happen to choose, it will give us the one leftover triangle we can make. So I'm just going to choose D. You can choose to start with an x or a y. Either way, it would have given you dxy. So you have 4 triangles in each square, so it's going to be 4 plus 4. If you use just the corner points of the rectangle, you're going to get another 4, and then if you use the middle points, you're going to get this triangle and this triangle, which are both 90 degrees. And so plus 2 should give you 14. Now, cereal company decides to increase the height of a box by 20% and then reduce the width in a way that we're able to keep the same volume. So let's calculate the volume first. So 6 times 3 times 4, and then times 10 times 10 times 10. I'm going to do this the quick way instead of trying to multiply 2-digit numbers together. So that's 24 times 3 gives you 72,000. So just add 3 zeros if you're multiplying by 10 3 times. So the volume is 72,000 cubed. Now if we increase 60 by 20%, that's actually going to become 72. So if we increase it by 20%, it's going to become 72 centimeters. So width times length now has to equal 1,000. So width times length equals 1,000. The length stays the same. So the width is decreased, should get decreased to 25 centimeters because 40 times 25 equals 1,000. So 25 is our new width, so 25 plus 72 equals 97. Good. So question 6 is a problem solving question. This one was a little bit of a pain, but let's work through it. So we have Audrey, Maya, and Catherine, and then we have Miss A, Miss D, and then Miss M. Now we need to find the relationship between the 3 girls and then the daughter. Sorry, this should be Miss N. So we know that Miss Nelson's daughter, Miss N.D. daughter, and Miss Allen are partners. And so Audrey's mother and Mrs. Diaz's daughter are also partners. So Audrey's mother plus Mrs. Diaz's daughter are also partners. So these are our 2 partnerships. So if we have Mrs. Nelson's daughter plus Miss Allen, we know that there aren't any mother-daughter combos. So Miss Allen can't be in pair 1 and 2, we know that. Sorry, I'm getting a little confused. What am I saying? Mrs. Nelson's daughter, Mrs. Allen, and then you have Audrey's mother. Okay, so we know that Mrs. Allen and Audrey's mother. Okay, so we know Mrs. Allen can't be Audrey's mother, because Audrey's mother and Mrs. Allen would then have to be the same person, but they're on 2 different courts. So you can't have the same person on 2 different courts. So Mrs. Allen has to be either Maya's mother or Catherine's mother. Now, Miss Diaz's daughter and Audrey's mother are on the same court, but there can't be any mother-daughter combinations. Okay, so Audrey's mother and Audrey cannot be Mrs. Diaz's daughter, right? So these 2 people, Mrs. Diaz and Audrey's mother, cannot be the same person, because then there would be a mother-daughter combination. So Mrs. Diaz can also not be Audrey's mother. So Miss Diaz has to be either Maya or Catherine's mother, which means that Miss Nelson has to be Audrey's mother. Question 8. So we skipped question 7. We're on question 8 now. So circumference is 2 pi r. The circumference of this big circle is from this point to this point out here. And so we know this distance here is 3. This distance here is 8. So 2 pi, and then r is going to be 3 plus 8. So it's going to be plus c. Question 9, basic arithmetic. So we have Janet, 2 friends. They order a large pizza, 3 cans of soft drink, and a salad for $1.50. And then they want to find the average. So they want to split it in 3. They want to find the average. Which of the following equations could be used to calculate the total cost for each person? So we have 9. Okay, for the pizza, 3 times the drinks, and then $1.50 for a salad. And then you add them first, and then we divide them by 3 outside the bracket. Okay, so it should give you option D. Now, question 10 was pretty straightforward. I didn't have enough space to put all the answers here, but I'll go through why option D is the correct answer. So all the answers were pretty similar in terms of side and front. So the front matches. We got 5 on the bottom, and then 2 in between, okay, on the top. And then if we look at it from the side, it's going to give us 4. Okay, it's going to be 2 across and then 2 up, so it's going to be correct. Now if we look at it from the top, there was only this object with one side missing at the back here, okay, which is what we're looking for. All the other sides are filled in if we look at it from the top. So answer D would have been your correct answer. Question 11. So if we have two polygons, the corresponding angles are congruent, which means the corresponding angles are the same, and the lengths of the corresponding sides are proportional, so they're in the same ratio. They're not the same length, but they're in the same ratio. All the corresponding sides are in the same ratio. So if we have, let's say, like a hexagon, okay, all the angles are the same, but this side is like 6, this side is 2, this side is 6, this side is 2, this side is 6, this side is 2. So it's all a 2:6 ratio, meaning it's proportional. Okay, what we call this is if the angles are the same but the sides are not, but they're in the same ratio, okay, they're in the right ratio, then it's a similar relationship, or the two hexagons or the two polygons are similar. Now, the last question, I believe. So we have four figures. We have a rectangle. Okay, the area of this is 60 centimeters squared. The area of this is, I believe it's 62.5. The area of this is going to be 5 plus 7 divided by 2 times 10. Okay, so 5 plus 7, we divide that by 2 because that's the equation, times the height. So that would give you 60 as well. So 5 plus 7 is 12, divided by 2 is 6, times 10 is 60. And then this last one is going to be pi. So it's going to be a decimal. So it's not going to be this. So 1 and 3 are the correct, or have the same area. So key points from this test, none, that's it. And just a note again, that question 7 was skipped for time's sake. Okay, good job guys. I hope this solutions video wasn't too hard to follow, except maybe that mother-daughter question. But otherwise, good job. I'll see you in the next video again.